Who here hasn't felt completely overrun by life's unpredictable storms at one point or another? We all have moments when it feels like our emotions and reactions are just out of our hands, like a boat tossed around on the ocean. But what if I told you that the ancient Stoics had a secret? A way to steady that boat amidst the wildest seas, enabling you to navigate life's uncertainties with a calm and steady hand. This isn't just about survival. It's about thriving when the going gets tough. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of Stoicism, exploring timeless wisdom that promises not only to change the way you think, but potentially transform how you live your everyday life. Stick around, because you're about to discover how to harness your thoughts and shape your actions to create the life you've always wanted, no matter what challenges you face. If you appreciate the transformative insights we share here, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit that subscribe button. And don't skip any part of this video, because if you're here seeking out the wisdom of Stoicism, you're not like most. You're an exception, ready to challenge the ordinary and transform your life. Number 1. Understand what's in your control. This might seem simple at first glance, but it's a game changer once you fully grasp it. In the realm of Stoicism, this concept isn't just about knowing the difference between what you can and can't do. It's about recognizing where to invest your mental energy. Every day, we're bombarded with news, opinions, and events that stir up all sorts of emotions. The Stoics advise us to focus on our own actions because that's where our power truly lies. For example, you can't control the weather, but you can control how you prepare for it. You can't control what someone thinks about you, but you can control how you respond to them. So, why waste time stressing over things out of our hands? It's like trying to steer a boat by blowing on the sails rather than using the rudder. You're not going to get very far. By concentrating on our own actions, choices, and attitudes, we harness our real power. We become proactive rather than reactive, which not only leads to more effective problem-solving, but also to a more serene state of mind. Applying this principle can be transformative. It allows us to detach from the chaos that doesn't contribute to our goals and to invest our energy wisely. Imagine how much more peaceful life could be if we stopped allowing external, uncontrollable factors to dictate our happiness and started nurturing what we truly have a say over. This shift in focus is not just about gaining a calm mind, but about empowering ourselves to lead more fulfilling lives. That's the core of Stoic wisdom, realizing that the true locus of control is internal, not external. And once you embrace this, you're well on your way to living not just any life, but a good Stoic life. Number 2. Your opinion shapes your reality. This is a core concept in Stoicism that truly has the power to transform how we experience life. The Stoics believed that it isn't the events themselves that disturb us, but rather the views we hold about them. This means that our emotional responses are not dictated by the events themselves, but by the opinions we form about them. When something happens, it's neutral until we assign it. Meaning, if you get stuck in traffic, for example, you can view it as a frustrating waste of time, or you can see it as an opportunity to listen to your favorite podcast or some music you love. The situation hasn't changed, but your experience of it shifts dramatically based on your opinion. This principle teaches us that by changing our interpretations, we can change our emotional landscape. We hold the power to reframe our thoughts, which in turn can lead to more positive emotions and less stress. It's like wearing different colored glasses. Each color changes how we see the world. If we choose to see obstacles as insurmountable and unfair, we suffer. But if we see them as challenges to overcome and learn from, we grow. Applying this principle involves observing our automatic thoughts and actively choosing to reframe them. It's about asking ourselves, Is there another way to see this situation? Or, what can I learn from this? It's not about denying negative feelings, but acknowledging them and then looking for a more constructive angle. What's truly liberating about this Stoic wisdom is that it puts us in the driver's seat of our own minds. Instead of being passive recipients of whatever life throws at us, we become active interpreters who can seek out the silver lining. This doesn't just help us cope with life, it helps us thrive, turning every obstacle into a stepping stone toward greater resilience and inner peace. Embrace this principle and watch how you start to transform challenges into opportunities just by shifting your perspective. Number 3. Voluntary discomfort. This might sound a bit counterintuitive at first. Why would anyone choose discomfort? But that's exactly what makes this Stoic practice so powerful. Voluntary discomfort is about more than just testing your limits. It's a training ground for building resilience and independence from external conditions. The idea here is pretty straightforward. Occasionally and intentionally putting yourself in uncomfortable situations can prepare you for unexpected hardships. Think about it like this. If you regularly take cold showers, skip meals, or perhaps sleep on the floor once in a while, you're essentially practicing being uncomfortable. When life inevitably throws a real curveball at you, a lost job, a broken air conditioner in the middle of summer, you're better prepared to handle it without panic or excessive distress. What's fascinating about this Stoic exercise is how it recalibrates your baseline for comfort. Over time, what was once daunting becomes manageable, and your overall tolerance for discomfort increases. This isn't just about physical resilience, it's deeply psychological. By voluntarily facing discomfort, you're training your mind to not overreact to adverse situations, essentially telling yourself, "I've been here before, and I handled it." This principle also teaches us about detachment and the dangers of overindulgence. In a world where comfort is often just a click away, choosing discomfort can be a profound act of self-control and a reminder of what we truly need versus what we want. It's a practice that keeps you grounded, reminding you that you can indeed live with less, and that, sometimes, less is more liberating. By embracing voluntary discomfort, you not only fortify yourself against the inevitable hardships of life, but also develop a deeper appreciation for your everyday comforts. Each time you return from the realm of voluntary discomfort, you bring back with you a greater sense of gratitude and contentment. So next time you're about to avoid discomfort, maybe think twice and consider what stepping into that discomfort might teach you about resilience, simplicity, and inner strength. It's not just about being uncomfortable, it's about becoming unstoppable. Number 4. Everyone acts according to their perspective. This Stoic insight is crucial for fostering understanding and patience in our interactions with others. It reminds us that every person you meet is operating from their own set of beliefs, experiences, and biases, their unique perspective on the world. When someone cuts you off in traffic, or when a colleague snaps at you, it's easy to react with immediate frustration or anger. But the Stoic approach invites us to pause and consider, that person is acting based on their current circumstances, which I know nothing about. They might be rushing to a family emergency, or they could be dealing with a tough day that's worn down their patience. By remembering that their actions are driven by their personal view of the world, not a direct desire to challenge us, we can find it within ourselves to respond with empathy rather than irritation. This principle goes beyond just avoiding conflict. It's about developing a deeper understanding of human nature. We all see the world through our own lenses, colored by our personal experiences and emotions. Acknowledging this doesn't just help us deal with others more effectively, it enriches our own emotional intelligence. When you start to see the reasons behind people's actions as rooted in their perspectives, you're less likely to take things personally and more likely to maintain inner peace. Applying this principle can transform the way you interact with the world. It's about embracing the idea that while we can't know everything that shapes another's behavior, we can control our reaction to it. This doesn't mean excusing bad behavior, but it does mean approaching interactions with a mindset that seeks to understand rather than judge. Imagine how much calmer and more productive your day could be if you didn't spend energy on being offended or upset by others' actions. Instead, you could redirect that energy to responses that reflect the best of who you are. That's the power of recognizing that everyone acts according to their perspective. It's about building bridges of understanding rather than barriers of division. Truly, this Stoic wisdom doesn't just ease your interactions, it broadens your view of the human experience, encouraging a more compassionate and connected life. Number 5. Reflect, don't react. This is about creating a pause between what happens to you and your response to it. This small pause can make a huge difference in the quality of your life and relationships. So, what does it mean to reflect rather than react? Imagine someone says something that offends you. Our natural impulse might be to snap back or shut down, but reacting in the heat of the moment often escalates situations and can lead to regrets. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to take a moment, breathe, and consider why we feel triggered. Is it truly about the words spoken, or is it touching a deeper insecurity or past hurt? This reflection gives us the chance to respond with intention rather than impulse. By practicing this principle, we cultivate a form of mental discipline that frees us from being slaves to our immediate emotions. It's like developing a mental muscle that helps you lift yourself above the fray of knee-jerk reactions. You start to see your emotions as signals to examine, not forces to be blindly obeyed. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. Rather, it's about understanding them more deeply so that your actions are governed by wisdom, not whims. This practice of reflection can also lead to more peaceful interactions with others. When you take the time to reflect, you allow space for empathy and understanding to grow. You begin to see conflicts from multiple angles, not just your own, which can open the door to more constructive and compassionate solutions. Think about how this principle can transform challenging situations into opportunities for growth. Each time you choose to reflect instead of react, you're not just avoiding potential conflict. You're also strengthening your character and honing your rational faculties. Over time, this can lead to a profound inner peace as you become less perturbed by the ups and downs of life and more centered in your own rational capabilities. Next time you find yourself about to react impulsively, pause and ask yourself, what's really going on here, for me and for the other person? This moment of reflection is where true understanding and wisdom lie. It's not always easy, but it's incredibly rewarding, helping you navigate life with grace and equanimity. Number 6. Self-sufficiency is freedom. This Stoic principle is all about finding freedom in autonomy, encouraging us to cultivate a life that relies less on externalities and more on our internal resources. It's a profound reminder that true independence comes not from what we have, but from what we can do without. Self-sufficiency, according to Stoicism, isn't about isolating ourselves or living off the grid, though those can be expressions of it for some. It's about developing an inner resilience that allows us to enjoy and appreciate life's pleasures without becoming dependent on them. This means fostering a mindset where our happiness and peace of mind are not hostage to the whims of fortune, whether that's material wealth, social status, or even relationships. Imagine how freeing it would be if your contentment didn't hinge on having the latest gadget, the approval of your peers, or perfect health. By focusing on building your internal resources like wisdom, virtue, and self-control, you create a stable foundation for your well-being that external changes can't shake. This is the heart of Stoic self-sufficiency. It empowers you to respond to life's ups and downs with composure and strength. By practicing this principle, you also start to streamline your life, stripping away the non-essentials that clutter not just your physical space, but your mind as well. You begin to ask yourself, what do I truly need to be happy? Often you'll find the answer is much less than you think. This simplification is a path to freedom, as each unnecessary dependency you shed makes you more adaptable and resilient. Moreover, self-sufficiency enhances your relationships with others. When you're not looking to others to fill your needs, you can relate to them more genuinely and generously. You bring your best self to interactions, not a version of you that's looking to take something away. Embracing this Stoic principle of self-sufficiency doesn't just change how you cope with life's challenges. It transforms how you engage with everything. It teaches you that the less you need to be happy, the more freely you can love, give, and receive. It's a liberating way to live, offering a type of freedom that the changing tides of life cannot diminish. Cultivating this inner fortress of peace and contentment isn't just a way to endure life, it's a way to excel at it, no matter what comes your way. Number 7. Acceptance of fate. This principle, also known in Stoicism as the amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This isn't about resignation or passivity, rather it's about embracing whatever life throws at you with a spirit of robust enthusiasm. It's a powerful form of acceptance that involves seeing every event, whether perceived as good or bad, as something that was meant to happen, perhaps even something necessary for your growth. Amor fati goes beyond mere acceptance. It's about loving your life in its entirety, with all its twists and turns. This Stoic mindset encourages us not to waste our energy wishing things were different, but to use that energy to engage with life as it is. Think of it like this: every challenge, every setback has something to teach us, and every person we encounter has something to offer us, even if it's not clear in the moment. By practicing acceptance of fate, you're not just enduring life's challenges, you're actively learning from them. It's a proactive stance. You start to see life's obstacles as necessary parts of your personal evolution. This doesn't mean you enjoy suffering or seek it out, but you find a way to make the most of it when it comes. You understand that these experiences are crucial for forging strength and character. Imagine navigating life with this kind of armor. Instead of being tossed about by the waves of fortune, you ride them. You meet life's ups and downs with the same calm and assurance, knowing that each plays a vital role in the tapestry of your existence. This perspective can be incredibly freeing. It removes the fear of misfortune because you trust that, ultimately, everything contributes to your greater good. Moreover, accepting fate helps to mitigate feelings of regret and bitterness. When you believe that everything happens for a reason, even if that reason isn't immediately apparent, you're less likely to harbor resentments or stew over what could have been. Instead, you focus on what can be learned and how you can grow. So, embracing the Stoic principle of amor fati is about more than making peace with life's unpredictabilities. It's about transforming them into an active celebration of existence. It's about taking everything that comes your way with open arms and a trusting heart, making you not only resilient, but joyously adaptive to the ebbs and flows of life. This acceptance doesn't just bring peace, it brings a profound joy as you align yourself with the flow of life, making every moment an opportunity for personal triumph. Embracing these Stoic principles can truly transform your approach to life, turning every challenge into a stepping stone towards wisdom and peace. Remember, it's not what happens to us, but how we respond to what happens that defines our journey. Thank you for joining me today in the Stoic Journal. If you're inspired to dive deeper into these life-changing ideas, check out the video popping up on your screen now. Until next time, continue to cultivate your inner strength and live profoundly.